we were committed to never again sell any nuclear technology or trade in nuclear information with India ever again. So when David Emerson said, India's been in the penalty box long enough, what we were saying is we don't take the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty seriously in Canada, and we want our trade interests to trump peace and disarmament. So that's one piece of why nuclear isn't a good choice. But if you line up the reasons that Saskatchewan in this next election campaign should be talking a lot about what kind of future do we want and how much do we want our future to be radioactive, I hope that this will be an election issue and that you'll talk about it a lot. Because I don't think the other parties have good positions, but maybe through a debate and a discussion, can educate them. In the meantime, that's part of a sustainable future for Saskatchewan, is a non-nuclear future. We kind of take civilization for granted, that we live in a civil society, that we live in a country where we respect each other's rights, we respect, we want to make sure everybody's educated, everybody's literate. There's some things about civilization that we rather take for granted. And actually, I think the biggest threat of the climate crisis is to the survival of civilization. Because as Gwynne Dyer pointed out in his book, Climate Wars, as the world begins to face extreme levels of climate impacts, extreme droughts, rising sea levels, millions of environmental refugees who push against borders to get to other countries to try to get to their water or their food or their security, that will create geopolitical turmoil in which what's really at risk is civilization itself. Well, Jane Jacobs wrote about civilization in Dark Age Ahead, and she spent most of the book talking about a fundamental pillar of civilization, being family and community. Those places are most secure and most resilient, and she described them as places where people might not know their neighbors by name, might not have them over for dinner a whole lot, but they have a nodding acquaintance with the people they see on the street. There's a human scale to the townscapes. There's a human scale to the cities and the markets and the squares, so that people know their place in a community, and there's a sense of caring and belonging that goes with that.